Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's a good time to make a video at the rec center. Not many people here, but I wanted to talk about something I learned today, and it was quite eye-opening. It's about our blood sugar and what makes it spike, what doesn't make it spike. It's about this guy I found on YouTube who's all of a sudden I got a bunch of these feeds from him, and they're short videos, 1 minute each, about different foods and what they do to your blood sugar. And I found it so informative. And he explained it in a way, he explained these spikes in blood sugar and how it relates to our insulin resistance and how that is bad. And the first time for me anyways, it kind of made the term insulin resistance made a sense to me. You know, I understood before about the what do they call it, the glucose, the sugar content of any given food and how it spikes your blood sugar. And I kind of understood that, but this term insulin resistance didn't make a whole lot of sense to me until today. And I've subscribed to this guy, and I really like him. It seems like he's doing nothing but shorts, but we'll take any number of foods or combination of foods and eat it. I assume he's eating on an empty stomach. And then we'll see, has a thing on his arm, a blood sugar meter on his arm, and he gets a graph of how this affects his blood sugar. But the part about it that made the most sense to me, I mean, it was kind of eye-opening to me, was he kind of described it like, almost like this wave of, if you're constantly, blood sugar's going up and down like this, it's kind of like your hearing. If you're in a loud, let's say you go to rock concerts all the time, you sit like I did it when I was a teenager. We slept out for Ted Nugent. We hardly knew who he was, but I thought, oh, maybe we could sell the tickets. And anyways, that's another story. But after the concert, I could hardly hear. That was so loud. We were like on the third row, and he's known for loud concerts. And it damaged my hearing, maybe not permanently, or maybe it did permanently. You know, in the short term, it was very damaging. In the long term, I don't know if that's the reason, but my kids are constantly, and wife, are constantly complaining that I don't hear things. It's because my hearing has been impaired, right? On a similar note, your insulin sensitivity is impaired when your blood sugar is going like this, and the waves, you become insensitive to glucose, and your body, I'm still not 100% clear on, you know, exactly what insulin does, but I guess it works to, you know, counteract this high amounts of blood in your, sugar in your blood, right? And the more you keep eating sugar and feeding your system with sugar, your system becomes insensitive to it, and you need more sugar to satisfy your sugar need or whatever. It's like It's like, oh, I need that Ted Nugent to turn it up louder now because I can't hear it. When this other guy next to you is blasting his ears, and it's hurting his ears because it's so loud. This is kind of like insulin resistance. So that's why, you know, when I went to Japan, first time as a missionary, I remember the Swedes hardly tasted sweet at all. We'd taste some Japanese chocolate, and I thought, oh my heavens, this is the worst chocolate. It tastes like wax, we would say, because it wasn't so sweet. But then when you get used to that sweetness, oh my heavens. So it's that the like, for example, the European level of sweetness is just perfect for me. I love European sweets because they're not so sweet. It's like when I came back from being a couple of years in Japan, the American sweets were just so sweet. They'd make my teeth hurt. And they were just so, it was like, oh my heavens. So like, for example, when I was working at different companies, oh, somebody's birthday, and they'd always go grab a sheet cake from some grocery store with icing on it this thick, that I would never have a piece. I would say, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. And so this is kind of like, you know, when you get used to that level of sweetness, it you don't notice it, and you need constantly. You practically have to have pure sugar before you sense any sense of sweet. And so that is one way of understanding insulin resistance. And also, like to say, you know, sugar is what cancer feeds on. And insulin resistance is something that I would say 90% of Americans suffer from. And we need to not get on medication, attack it with our diet, change our diet. Listen to Mark Hyman, I love him, doctor on the internet, who said, food is your medication. Food is your medicine. Your diet, you are what you eat. So this is something and the guy I've been watching on YouTube just the last couple of days with these different foods. I wish I could give him a plug, but I can't remember his name, but I'm sure if you look for it, it'll come up. But all that has come up on my feed is 1 minute shorts of trying different foods and see what it does to his blood sugar. And you'll find that even something as simple and as quote-unquote healthy as an apple, by itself, it'll spike your blood sugar. But he dips it in almond butter and surrounds it with some good healthy fat and takes it together with something. It doesn't spike nearly as much. You know, peanut butter, almond butter, I don't know, let's say some kind of a food dish in cottage cheese. It's not going to spike your blood sugar. The glycemic index, that was the word I was thinking about. Yeah, I understood the glycemic index before. Everything kind of compares to how much pure sugar, how fast it will go into your blood. You know, that is the high bar which we should avoid. So we should always strive to eat foods that are low on the glycemic index. That's why whole grains are so good, because whole grain wheat or whatever, you know, the bran and the husks of you know, whole grain rice or whatever. It's like it packages those sugars in that it creates a slow burn, and it does not spike your blood sugars like, for example, white rice. That's why I've been eating nothing but brown rice, whole grain rice, and then I think we ran out of, we need to replace it, but I've discovered whole grain buckwheat. Not 100%, when I say 100%, about half and half with the whole grain rice. Mix it, cook it together. Oh, it doesn't taste like much, but it's a superfood. It's like a superfood. So, and when you're doing something good for your body, you just feel, you can tell, it feels so good. So anyways, this guy on the internet, I think I'm jumping all around, so I apologize, but I'm really excited about this. He'll eat a food and wait 2 hours, take his blood sugar, and he'll talk about how he feels, how it makes him feel. And that's what we need to do, is get in tune with the body. Something it's taken me 62 years to do. You know, listen to your body. So that's my pro tips for today. And sign off, and thank you for listening. Bye-bye.